Hello everyone, I'm Nick Bailey, RE/MAX Chief Customer Officer. Thank you for joining us on this session of Coach's Corner. You are in for a treat because this series is designed with you in mind to make sure that as an agent, everything that these coaches provide you is designed to level up your skill set and help drive your success. This series is filled with coaches like today's speaker and additional superstars like Jared James, Dermot Buffini, Judy Ladure, Verl Workman, all names that sit at the top of their game, and they are trying to help make sure you're at the top of your game. So thanks for tuning in and joining us, and a special welcome if you're a guest. We just believe that everybody that gets better in this industry serves consumers even better. Today's guest has been in the industry since 1987. He's been a coach and a leader for 19 years, coaching agents, brokers, CEOs to make sure that they're on their game. He's sold real estate, grown offices, and is here to bring some amazing content to you. So with that, I would like to introduce Mr. Jon Cheplak. Jon, take it away.
Thanks so much, Nick, for the introduction, and hello, RE/MAX. It is my privilege to spend this time with you and share what I know is market-tested, market-proven in today's marketplace, the multi-channel marketing machine that converts. So let's jump right in. The first rule that we need to know is that if you get your message right, you can't lose. And we'll come back to that a little bit later in my time with you today, where we talk about the content and the messaging. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a very simple process, and it can seem like it's complicated, but it's really, really not. Someone on your staff or even yourself, you can set all this up, and once it is in play, it is automatic. And so let's dig in. With the multi-channel marketing machine that converts. Number one, here's what we need to take a look at. We're going to take a look at your content. We're going to take a look at the vehicles that you're going to use. We're going to look at the platforms, and then we're going to look at the most important part. Well, it's all important, your cadence. But I say it's the most important part because I know a lot of people that are putting content out there, they're off a little bit on cadence. And I'm going to share some statistics with you, being inside 100 different organizations and working with thousands of agents every single week, zooming into organizations throughout North America of what's actually working in cadence, and you're going to be shocked. So here's what we're going to look at is once a week, a piece of content. And that piece of content must be video. It just has to be. I think the latest statistics have shared that in the last year, the expectation of the consumer is your usage of video in business has gone up 300%. And it stands to reason because over the last year, people have not been meeting as much in person. So that's just the reality of where we're at. And come on, it's 2021. We've got to be using video. And so what we're going to do is I'll take you through how we're going to move through the process of the multi-channel marketing machine. And then we'll come and break it down for you. Number one, you're going to create a piece of video content. Number two, you're going to post it to your business page. You're going to then share it to IGTV because typically the length of this video is going to be too long for just your typical Instagram post. You're going to then share it over to YouTube, and then you're going to email it. And here is the cadence. You're going to do it a minimum of once a week. Trust me. And wait till I share with you how often we have been sending emails to databases, getting amazing open rates, amazing click-through rates, and actual responses of come list me or I want to buy a home. And we're talking about massive databases of 100,000 all the way down to databases of 1,300. And wait till I share with you the story about this one database of just 1,300 people. So let's go back to the beginning. Number one, a must is a market snapshot every single month. So say it's February and we've just ended February and here we are into March, right? And so within the first week of March, what you're going to want to do is create a market snapshot. Now, here's what's pretty neat about it is I have great examples of clients. Their market snapshot is sometimes under 2 minutes. What you need to do is you need to pick out 3 critical factors from the marketplace. It could be interest rates, how interest rates have changed year over year. It can be days on the market. It can be, all kinds of different things, how the average price has changed, what the median price has changed over the years. But just 3 main factors about the marketplace. And so that's your number one piece of content that you must put out there. And I'm going to break down how to create that video, but I want to share with you the other piece of content because you need to put out a piece of content once a week and move it across all of these channels, all of these platforms. A second piece of content that you would put out there, something community-based. And I'll share with you some great examples of what has delivered massive results. Back in December, top 3 restaurants for takeout dinner for Christmas time. And we had people responding back to that email directly from a database. We'd like to list our property. We've been receiving your content. Another one is top 2 community events. And for the month of March or for the month of April, whatever month it may be. So something that connects with the community, okay, whether it is a local business or it is a local park. Number 2, the community events. What are the top 3 community events? Can't miss community events. And then, of course, your market snapshot. The fourth one, so what you're doing is you're being the news, you're being informative as far as the market snapshot is concerned. You are not selling. There are no calls to action whatsoever in that video at all. As a matter of fact, in none of the videos. At the end of any video, what you may want to do is a subtle call to action. If you'd like more information, please feel free to reach out to me. So we've got our market snapshot. It must go out once a month. It must go out once a month. Number 2, something that connects with the community, that's highlighting the community, a local park, a local business, something like that. Number 3, community events, top 2 or 3 community events, or the number 1 can't miss community event. And then number 4, what you want to do is something from a thought leader perspective. Thought leader perspective may be the number 1 mistake home sellers are making that's causing them to leave money on the table in multiple offers. How buyers are actually overpaying in multiple offer situations. Now, I bring both of those subjects up because right now at the recording of this video, they are relevant. What you want to do is give a tip that is relevant to what is happening in the marketplace. So you remember this in marketing is end messaging. You want to meet people where they're at. So those are 4 examples, 4 silos as far as content is concerned. Okay, be the news. That's what you want to be the news. So what you're going to do is, let's go back to now that market snapshot, and you'll mirror these activities to a certain extent, and I'll discern that in a moment for you. So you're going to do your market snapshot video, and let me give you the framework of any video. And this framework, of course, I'll be a little bit more specific as far as the market snapshot is concerned. What happened in the Las Vegas marketplace in 2020 and what we should be concerned about in 2021. That's my hook. Open every video with a hook. Don't introduce yourself, no hi Facebook. You must grab their attention or make a bold statement. You may say something like, interest rates are rising. What does that mean? And then what you'll do is step 2 is you'll then introduce yourself. Okay, so what happened in the Las Vegas marketplace in 2020 and what can we expect in 2021? That's step 1. Step 2 in that video, hey, it's Jon Cheplak with ABC Real Estate. Step 3 in this video, talk to them like a second grader. The best copywriters, and copywriting is what we read, what we write, what we say. The best copywriters write at second, third grade level. And so explain to people what you're going to cover in the video. I can't impress upon you how important it is to get the framework right. Now, if you're not doing video, here's what I would say. Done is better than perfect. Always remember that, right? But when you start doing more video consistently, or if you are someone that's been doing it consistently, maybe this is a little tip, just that one of those little subtleties that can really shift the engagement. You've got to hook people. You got 3 seconds. So hook them, okay? Make a bold statement or ask a question. Number 2, introduce yourself, okay? Number 3, tell them what you're going to cover in the video, okay? And then number 4, go into the content. Share the content. Average sale price year over year has changed this much. Days on market has changed this much. And one other factor in the marketplace, some trends I'm seeing is ABC, which could mean XYZ. Hope you found this helpful. And if you'd like an entire snapshot of the marketplace, please feel free to reach out to me. Promise me, or I promise you, you don't need to go way in depth with this science project, okay? We do have people always ask me, how long should a video be? And the answer that I've learned in tracking this is as long as it's good, right? But what you want to do is you want to get that first 10 seconds consumed 100%, okay? Like the first 3 to 10 seconds of someone consuming your video can increase purchase intent by 40%. Yes, indeed. The Nielsen Rating Company studied video. They were so fascinated by it. The Nielsen Rating Company that measures eyeballs on TV, all right? And so they took a look at 3 seconds and 10 seconds, dramatic impact, right? That's why that hook is so important. If you just introduce yourself, or hey, Facebook, or something like that, you're going to lose people, all right? So number 1, a hook. Number 2, introduce yourself. Number 3, tell them what you're going to cover. Number 4, deliver the content. Number 5, pivot to tell them what to do next. Maybe it's, I hope you found this really valuable, and please look forward to next month's market snapshot, and there may be some really interesting things based on the trends that we're seeing right now. So that is the framework. Always use that framework for any video, but I was just being specific in the market snapshot video, okay? Now, what am I going to do? Now I have my piece of content, okay? Once a week, just grab your calendar and map out a content creation time. And guess what? What sort of equipment do you need? And I know people will argue this, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do high-level production, but I've been fortunate to sit in masterminds, and I have to be able to work with some of the high performers that I get the privilege of coaching. And so I'll sit in masterminds with people that are spending $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a day on a video. And what they have found when they have taken video to lower production levels, more real, if you will, they've performed at a higher level. So don't let those things get in the way, all right? Don't let maybe you fumble or stumble in a video get in the way. My goodness, I'll probably fumble or stumble a little bit in this video. Keep it real, right? Keep it real. It's a human connection business. So now you have that one piece of content. Here's what I want you to do with that video. You need to take that video file and you need to send it over to a program called rev.com. What rev.com is going to do is they're going to download everything you said in written form. So it's voice to machine, and they'll email you back, I don't know, typically 10 or 15 minutes, all the content, everything that you said. Now, here's what's pretty neat. You can multi-purpose this so many ways, and I'm not here to take you, way out to the North Pole on this. But for example, you can actually grab that written content that's sent back to you via email, and you can make a blog post and grab a great image and post it as a blog post in addition to the video. Well, that's overkill. No, it's not. Because some people prefer reading something and will respond to blogs. Some people like blogs. Some like podcasts. Some like watching video. And so being everywhere, being omnipresent is critical. Being omnipresent is critical. You're fighting for mind space. So now we have the video file and we have the content. You'll need to edit that content. And this is very, very important. I mean, I shared today with a couple of coaching clients that you should probably sit down with 2 or 3 staff members and decide what content you're going to create for the week that's going to be distributed, that one piece of valuable content for the week, and craft it and then finish it, and then naturally start looking at, okay, the copy, making sure that the copy lays out. Now, one of the things and the big reason that we're pulling this copy is not so much so you can do a blog, but you can go do a blog post. If you'll notice any of my posts typically when there's a video, and if you happen to know who some of my clients are, you'll see they write long copy. You'll see the video and all this long copy. How come? Because 80% of all videos are watched with the sound off. Well, John, this doesn't make sense then. Why am I doing video, if they're watched with the sound off? Because the power of the moving head on a screen, psychologically, it creates credibility and authority. It just does. So what you want to do is you want to write that long copy and you want to space it out. Know this, that the aesthetics of the copy that you write with a post are as critical as what I call the creative. In this case, the creative is the video. Okay. And one tip, don't do death by emoji. So now we have that video file, we have the copy set up, you're going to post it to your business page. And then what you're going to do is, I prefer, and there's many people that are a lot smarter than me, and I don't know that we'd argue, they'd make their case and I'd make mine. I am a fan of boosting a post, and I'll tell you why I prefer boosting versus running an ad. Because the best ad is the one that doesn't look like an ad. If you compare typically an ad in the Facebook Ads Manager versus a boosted post, the boosted post looks more like an organic, natural post. I want everything that I'm posting to look very, very natural. That's my opinion, and that's where it is. And we've seen it work really, really well. So now what we have is we have this content, this video and the long copy that's been spaced out properly, reads really well. You want to write it with a headline, your hook, your opening, that's your headline. I want you to treat that copy you write just like you would if you were writing something for the front page of a newspaper. You've got to hook people. You've got to hook them in what you say. You've got to hook them with the copy as it's going through the newsfeed, okay? You're posting it to your business page, you're going to boost it. And just do a radius boost. Go a geographic radius boost, 50 miles. And believe me, based on what you say on the video, Facebook is going to find your audience. Because every word that you say goes into the algorithm and maps to the likes, interests, and behaviors of what people are engaging in. Good old AI that we've heard about. Yes, it is very, very real. And what's pretty interesting is there's some things we're going to do to really get you honed in on the right audience here in a second that I'll share with you. And now here's what you do. You set it and forget it. Do you need to spend a bunch of money? You can spend $5 a day. You could spend 20, 30, 40, $100 a day, depending on where your marketing budget is. I don't think it's that necessary to go too crazy with it. 5, 10, 15 bucks a day. Let it run for 30 days. And you don't take that down because it's a market snapshot. It's relevant. It's from the month before, right? And so you don't need to take it down until you do next month's market snapshot. Then you're going to take that video file and you're going to move it over to your IGTV. You'll probably have to condense the copy down a little bit, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take that same video file and you're going to move it over to your YouTube page. Now, or channel, I should say. And here's the thing. Everyone, your business page, your Instagram, and your YouTube need to have the same name, right? Only makes sense, okay? Now, here's the kicker, and this is the game changer, and it's the one piece that many miss. BombBomb is a fabulous tool. Our experience has been head-to-head. MailChimp has better delivery versus BombBomb, but if you have a great experience with that wonderful product, go for it. I try and get into a granular level on things. Here's what we do. Here's what you do with the email, and it's really critical you pay attention because email is winning, and email is winning big. I see every single day on coaching calls with people that are sending email the right way. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take a screenshot of that video that's posted on Facebook. You're going to then upload it into a program called JPEG Mini. What JPEG Mini does is it reduces the file size while not compromising the quality of the image. Well, why is that important? Think about this. It's logic. It's not so much, when you look at delivery, it's less of whether, you're blacklisted or you send too much spam. Sure, those things are looked at, but let's be logical in this. The email service providers, the number one thing they don't want to do is deliver mass emails of heavy files. So that's the reason we are just going at a granular level and taking one further step of reducing the file size of the image so that when it's sent, it's not going to the email service providers as this big heavy file, so that the email service providers aren't taking up more server space that costs money. Pretty simple, right? So you have your image, okay, that's been reduced. You're going to embed that in the email. You're going to put that in the body of an email. Now, here's what you'll do next. You're going to go over to your Facebook post and you're going to go up in your web browser, okay? Certainly click on the video that's been posted. You're going to go in the web browser and you're going to grab that URL for the video and you're going to embed it inside the image. And so when it's sent, it shows up with its little video play button, okay? People click on it, it will take them to your Facebook. Now, people say, well, I want to send them to YouTube. Well, stay with me on this. What we're going to do is, here's what I want you to keep in mind. We're going to be emailing this to your database. I think going out on a limb here, your database is either massive leads or past clients, friends, neighbors, relatives, people that would do business with you. But typically what it's going to be is a database of potential buyers, potential sellers. Well, here's what happens when you send that email. Actually, you're getting an email delivery, but then every time someone clicks on that image, what's happening is they are sending a signal to the algorithm. It's letting Facebook know the profile. Facebook establishes a profile on your business page of the common likes, interests, and behaviors of people that click on your Facebook post, people that watch your videos. So stay with me. If you have a whole bunch of leads in your database, wouldn't you like a whole bunch of those people clicking on that email, which is really clicking on the URL from Facebook and building this profile? And the reason it builds the profile is so that Facebook in the future can serve your posts to people that are most likely to engage. So in a way, I don't know, are we gaming the algorithm? I'd like to say we are. Think about this. Think about some people who you see them, they're constantly in your feed. Well, they're constantly in your feed because you've been engaging on their posts or you've been messaging with them. Then you have other people you haven't seen forever. Well, because there's been no engagement. So I want you to capture this one critical piece, okay? So let's go back to the mechanics of setting up the email. Put it in MailChimp, and by all means, if you're using BombBomb and it works for you, knock yourself out. I am not partial. I just go based on A/B testing that we have done and the results that we've seen. The most important thing, again, is it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to get done, right? So now what we want to do is, so we have the image that is the screenshot that's sitting in the body of the email. We've embedded the video link in that image, so when someone clicks on it, when it's delivered, it'll take them to your Facebook business page. But now what we have to do, and we've worked on, let's talk about email. We've worked on delivery, okay? Because delivery has to do with the weight of the file, right? Now what we need to do is we need to get that email opened. Well, how do we get it open? We write a good subject line, just like the opening of the video. You're probably going to use a subject line that's the same as the hook you used in the video, okay? You won't believe what happened in the Vegas marketplace last month. Something like that. Here's what I want you to think about in your subject lines. Curiosity and or urgency. Curiosity and or urgency. So I have my subject line. Now, the next part, as the image is, the screenshot is sitting in the body of the email, it's the 140 character rule. Now, here's something that may be new to you. Get rid of all of your greetings in your emails. Think about this. Check out your cell phone right now. Look at the emails that are coming through. You've got 3 lines there. That's good. That's real estate. I don't want to waste real estate as people are looking through emails on a hello, John, hope you're well. No, here's what I want you to do is I want you to have your subject line, okay, which is to get people to open that email, the curiosity and urgency. So here's an example. What happened in the Vegas marketplace last month, and ... an incomplete sentence in your subject line with an ellipsis, the ... which means there's more. I want to pull people down, right, into the first sentence. I'm going to start the first sentence. And by the way, that's not just for this. This is for any email that you're sending out. Maybe you're sending text email. We have great success with pure text email without an image in it. So you want to start the first sentence, not with a greeting. You want to treat the first sentence as a subhead. So your subject line, you getting people to open the email, that is your headline. The first sentence of your email needs to be a subhead. So ... and what it could mean to our economy. Now, there's a rule that comes into play here in email marketing. It's called the 140 character rule. I think Twitter's 140 characters, and I think LinkedIn's 140 characters, right? So the unconscious brain is programmed that something has to happen or change. So think about this too. As you're writing, if you're even writing text emails at 140 characters, which typically comes out to about 3 lines, okay, double spacing, you've got to move them to, so you'll write a little bit more copy. You've got to move them to seeing that image and an option to click on the image, okay? So that's the framework of your email, that subject line, that subhead, the continuation of the subject line, and then the sentence continuing on to really the first line of your email works the best. See, in copywriting, we want to pull people downhill. We want them to read downhill. We want to pull them through so they keep reading, because the more someone consumes of our content, the greater commitment they're making to us. See, we're trying to get someone to make a commitment to reach out to us, to work with us, to buy. And the number one way to get someone to do that is to make a series of micro commitments, right? I want them to make a series of micro commitments. Well, a series of micro commitments is someone consuming my content. So subject line, we've got the first line of the email, which is our subhead, maybe 2 more lines, and then the image, right? Then underneath it, what we want to do is we want to do 2 or 3 bullet points. And I would use an emoji with those bullet points, okay? And we're breaking it up, right? The 3 lines that are pulling them down. We have the image, and then 3 bullet points, double spaced, okay? That highlight what's covered in the video, or maybe it's more information you want to expand beyond what's in the video. And then a couple paragraphs, a couple 3-sentence paragraphs below it. Okay. Now, what you also want to do is you want to weave the link in there 3 times. You want to put the link to the video at the very end of the email. You want to put it underneath the screenshot, and then put it just above the video. Actually, you could get away with just having it be the hyperlink, but sometimes we'll put it above the image, above the screenshot. We have it below, and then we have it at the very end. Because here's one of the things I want you to think about too. I'm sharing with you how to structure an email, is know that people read, if an email's here, right? People read an email in this order. 1, they go to the end, what the heck is this about? 2, and they come back in the middle, 3. And so we want to get them to click through, hence the reason for 3 links in that email. And you want to launch that once a week to your database. And the next week what you do is your next piece of content, the #1 family park in Henderson, Nevada. And I want to share with you the reason this is working. At the recording of this video in the past week, I've done about 15 Zooms, which I do each week, into large brokerages, large teams. And I asked everyone, all the agents, and I said, put one word into the chat of how you describe the current state of the consumer. Scared, frustrated, paralyzed, angry. Let me tell you something. #1, every consumer has sales skepticism. So do you. You walk into the shoe store, someone says, "Can I help?" And you say, "No, just looking," right? Well, then you take the emotions of where the consumer is at, okay, right now. My experience is you can't sell people out of sales skepticism. You can't objection people out of frustration or anger. You must nurture them. You must show empathy. You must connect with them where they're at in their lives, right? For example, the top 3 restaurants in Pasadena for Christmas takeout dinner, it performed unbelievably, okay? A client recently for Valentine's Day stood out in front of a flower store the night before. It's not too late to get flowers. And this is a great local flower store. It did it selfie mode, no high level production. They're in a super, super, super low inventory market. You maybe say, "John, that's everywhere." Okay, they are. And they're taking listings regularly. Because what they're not doing is being that constant come buy, come sell, I'm the greatest, rates are low, inventories, all the things that are very, very obvious. See, remember this, the heart chooses, the mind justifies. We have to connect with people at a human level. And in 2021, in all the surveys that have been done, here's what is being shared. Before the consumer makes a decision to buy anything, period, they must feel the highest level of safety and trust. Well, the person that is invoking the law of association, associating with the local community, the person that is promoting local businesses, the person that's just showing up as they are, the person that's keeping them abreast of what a local marketplace is doing on a monthly basis, the person that is sharing with them the tip that is most relevant to what's going on in the marketplace, and the person that stays consistent and moves the content using the #1 vehicle of video across all the platforms where the eyeballs are, and staying consistent in their cadence, a minimum of once a week. The results we're seeing are unbelievable. I have a client right now following this to the T. Last year, I think they spent $190,000 on marketing. They didn't buy a bunch of leads. They did some stuff on Yelp, interestingly enough, and maybe spent $1,000 a month on Zillow. I don't know, $1,000 a month on Zillow in California. Did that buy you 1 lead? Anyways, they spent $190, but what they did stay committed to and consistent with is that one piece of content every single week. We would literally spend 30 minutes just focusing on, okay, what's the framework? What's the state of the marketplace right now? How can we meet people where they're at? What are some questions that they might have? Every single week doing that. So you've got, the big thing that comes up is what kind of content? Community events are important. Top community event. Can't miss community event in San Diego for the month of January, right? Every single month. Market snapshot every single month. Local business every single month. And then a tip. Now, once you have all these pages set up, all you have to do is produce that one piece of content. And I'll tell you, I work with a large group of people that buy a bunch of leads. And I work with high net income earners that buy 0 leads, who serve content to the consumer across all channels in this multi-channel marketing machine that converts. Their net income is phenomenal. Their interaction with the consumer is at a very, very high level, but at a very leveraged level. They don't have massive databases. And we're talking about databases of 1,300, 2,000 people, 2,400 people. And they're selling a whole lot of real estate. So let me close with this, is one piece of content moved across all channels, okay? It must be emailed to the database once a week. Take the time. Don't get yourself in the space of, well, we've got to create a piece of content this week. Let's just do this. I promise you, if you take the time, I have numerous clients where literally they will focus the investment they make in one coaching call a week just on one piece of content. It's so critical. It's an absolute game changer. And what I would say is in the current space and time, and I think it should always be this way, I think that what's happened with so much technology is that and so many moving parts and so many vehicles and platforms, it's real easy to move away from the human connection. The human connection is winning because the human connection has always won. Get that one piece of content out a week, move it across all channels, stay consistent. I promise you will win. Hope you found this valuable to you. It's not theory, it's straight from the marketplace right now. And what I'd leave you with is this. The training didn't take place here. The training takes place when you decide to take action. Go out and take action, but make sure it's consistent action. Thanks so much.